Hey guys, have you seen this property in Texas? We're hosting the next Dome Gaia workshop there, and this is such a cool property that I wanted to show it to you. This is called the Sovereignty Ranch. It's a 200-acre ranch just outside of San Antonio and not that far from Austin. I talked to Molly and Nico about the development of this property and a bit of their story. I'm going to share a little bit of that conversation in a minute, but first, I just want to show you the website and give you an idea of what this looks like. So here we can jump down to the Dome Gaia website and we can click on workshops and go to this Bandera, Texas, March 15th to the 24th. And this is where we're hosting the workshop. Here you can learn about our workshops. If you haven't been to our workshops, this is a great resource to learn about everything that you're learning and really how the Dome Gaia dome building technique is really changing the way we think about building and how it can be super accessible to anyone, even if you don't have building experience. So, every Dome Gaia workshop is a really unique experience because they're all in such different locations and the properties themselves just offer so much. This particular property is really special because it's so large and it's so well developed, and it's just so cool to see what they're doing here. So you can jump over to their website, which is sovereigntyranch.com, and here you can see fairly new property. They're just getting started. They've had a few large events with several hundred people on the property. It's very well built out already though. There's quite a few facilities for kind of luxurious staying to glamping to camping. So there's something for everybody in terms of, how you want to stay here. They've got swimming ponds. They have a big focus on regenerative agriculture and homesteading. They milk their own cows. They raise their own eggs. They grow a lot of their own food. They have a restaurant on site and even a tap room, and they're building their own brewery. So there is so much cool stuff happening here. For a lot of people that are interested in building domes, they're also interested in developing off-grid and rural properties. And so I think there's a lot that's happening on this property that has a lot of overlap. So if you're interested in those kinds of things and want to see an example of someone successfully pulling off a project like this and developing an income and a business and a livelihood in just a stunningly beautiful environment, this would be a good place to come just so you can kind of see the whole operations and get to talk to the people. In addition to everything you're going to learn with the Dome Guy workshop, which is packed full of information as well. So talking to Molly and Nico also was a unique insight into what's going on there. So let me share some of the clips from that conversation.
Hi, I'm Molly Englehart and I'm from Sovereignty Ranch, and we're so excited to be hosting a Dome Gaia workshop on our ranch, 200 acres between San Antonio and Austin, Texas. I'm an organic chef from Los Angeles. I have a chain of restaurants and we now live in Texas, and the food will be super high quality organic food, locally sourced, because that's kind of what my life is given to. Nick is really, really excited about interesting places to stay and visit, and he brought you guys to the table and is really excited about continuing once we get one building, figuring out different ways to utilize this technology all over the ranch.
Yes, very excited.
Yeah, Nick. So cool. So you're the one that kind of did the research and discovered Dome Gaia. Can you tell me a little bit about kind of what you were looking for and kind of why you guys wanted? I think you kind of answered it, Molly, but maybe a little more on kind of what your vision is for building the Aircrete domes.
I wanted to start getting more creative and letting those creative juices flow and create things that would work with the weather that we have, that would last a long time, but also would be an affordable way to build so that we can scale and expand quicker. Because we have a lot going on and we have a lot of opportunity for people to stay on the ranch already. So I was just looking into ways that we could do that quickly.
Could you give me a little just description of the ranch, like the number of acreage, what you have on the property, kind of, where it's located, some things like that?
Just over 200 acres, and we're in the Texas Hill Country, and we're between Bandera and Kerrville, a little closer to Bandera, out about 45 minutes to an hour outside of San Antonio. The ranch is a beautiful mixture of beautiful pastures, what were hay fields that we're turning into regenerative mob grazing, holistic grazing management practices. Then these beautiful hilly areas for horseback riding or hiking. So it's a combination of cedar forest and beautiful pastures. All the meals will happen in a restaurant that we built on the farm, but we will be serving everybody in this beautiful barn that's been converted into a restaurant, and that's where people will be eating like buffet style meals or family style meals. There's cows being milked every morning, goats being milked. There's chickens and egg collection. So there'll be food from the farm incorporated. There's about 6 greenhouses that have vegetables and different kinds of produce growing in them. So there'll be food from the land incorporated into those meals that we're making for everybody. There's a beautiful pond with a sauna. So there'll be, the build site is actually going to be right near the pond. And so there's going to be opportunities for people to bathe in the pond or swim in the pond.
And the pond is filled by the water underneath us. It's rich in magnesium. It's like a standout because it's like this bright blue, like tropical looking water in the middle of Texas Hill Country, but it's also full of magnesium, so it's great for you to swim in.
We have different opportunities, places for people to stay on the farm, different levels. If people want to live inside of a house with their own bathroom and a kitchen or whatever, or people want to camp, we have kind of different options for people.
So how long ago did you have your first event on the property?
In October of last year, we did an event for the eclipse, and it was about 250 people stayed on the ranch for 3 days. We had about 60 bell tents set up, plus the accommodations here on the ranch. We served food to everybody. We have a liquor license, so we served alcohol. It was really an amazing event, and I feel like proof of concept for what we're trying to do here, that people are interested to get out into the world and get off of their Zoom screens and see people in real life and connect over a fire, over a musical act, over a meal that is real nutrient dense. And I think we're missing.
It's so nice for people that are coming to one of our workshops where everyone can stay on the property and be part of that group like that and eat together and, have time to socialize and hang out and enjoy the nature. It's a big part of it.
And if people are into fossils, we have so many fossils, like fossilized shells. And so you can literally just like take a hammer and pull out as many fossils as you want.
And arrowheads.
And one of my employees just found like a bunch of arrowheads in the field that we were just like we don't till, but we scratched the surface to see it. And when we did that, he went and found a bunch of arrowheads and parts of tools and everything like that. We have a rock rubble wall that people are in the area say is from way back in the Native American times.
So how do you describe the ranch? Like, you have a lot going on, a lot of different projects. You're not just a glamping, you're a farm, you're going to have a brewery.
I'm a regenerative farmer that understands it's hard to make a living with agricultural enterprises only. And so my agricultural enterprises are the backdrop for a hospitality ranch and destination brewery is what the final goal would be.
If they're coming to, say, a Dome Gaia workshop, obviously there's the education on the dome building, but it sounds to me like there's a lot of neat things going on that people get exposed to. Like, can you kind of speak to just maybe the overall experience?
There's a lot of neat things happening. And right before you guys are coming, we're having a homesteading course. And so people are coming out to learn about homesteading. They're going to learn about milking cows, caring for dairy cows, how to make yogurt, how to make sourdough bread, and all of these other things. So anybody that's interested in getting up and seeing the cows be milked or seeing the guys working in the greenhouse, and that's all going to be happening. And so there's a lot of education opportunities on the farm if you're interested in goats or chickens or cows or even entrepreneurial enterprises. We're really like starting over, or event spaces. All of that is going to be still happening, and people will be able to have access to me, to Nick, to my husband, to my oldest son, to ask us as many questions as they want about what we're doing. So it's not just going to be an educational event around Dome Gaia, but it will also be around food, because that's kind of where I thrive, and what I'm really interested in is food and local food systems and how we can be responsible for our food choices.
Well, I hope you found that informative and also inspiring. And if you're interested in getting more information about this workshop, just check for the link in the description. You can also send us an email or give us a phone call from the website if you have any questions, but we hope to see you there.